Here we are. Bit of liveness. We even have a husky in the corner of the room enjoying the sofa. So let's see what's going on. Okay, so let's put that bigger. Right, it's a little bit misty tonight, which is why my voice has gone all of a sudden. But we will just go on regardless and see what happens. So it's a little bit misty, as I say, so we might have to keep playing with the focus a little bit to see what we come up with. Like that. There. That's probably about as good as we're going to get for now. As I said, we're going in close. Let's start off at the edge. Now, I'd love to tell you what all these are, but the only maps I've got of the moon are all in French. And there's no way I can read that even with these glasses on, because that is very, very small print. Where is it? There it is. That's so small and there's so much on it, I can't actually read that. So we're just going to go blind tonight. And we're just going to look at it. But this mountain range here, if I can get that cursor on it. This cursor here, this mountain range is the Apenninus, apparently. And right here should be the, well, just below that actually, we'll get to that later. It's a Sea of Tranquility. Where's the edge? So I'm actually gonna start start there and do some captures of that. We're moving around a lot tonight, but we are very close, and it is quite misty, so we are going to get quite a bit of that tonight, I think. But we're going to go through it and see what happens. See if we can keep it as nice and as clear as possible anyway. I'll see if I can go right through it. Stop moving. Thank you. Got a set on that, so let's stop that for a second. Okay, so that's why I don't want a sequence length today. That was the other day. Okay, so we're going to start from here then. Now I've got the camera set up right because it was set on Jupiter before. And I was doing it in sequence. Now I'm just going to capture it. Feels like it looks clearer on the live stream than it does on the screen I've got in front of me here. But I am wearing a pair of Dame Edna Everidge glasses today. Okay, so now we can move it over a bit. God, it's cold. I hope it's warmer where you are, because it's a lot colder here with the door open, it has to be said. Okay. As I said, I can't tell you exactly what part of the moon this is because the only book I've got is in French, and there's a lot too much information on there. My glasses are not good enough to read that. Yeah, so especially in this light. But that looks like that is the Mare Serendinitas. Serentitas. So I'm not going to start pronouncing those all night long. I'm going to leave that now because I won't be able to pronounce anything on this list. I tried it before and it just doesn't work for me. So we're just going to look at it, I guess, look at it really close up. Oh, that's got some great craters on the edge there. Beautiful. I love that. These ones are really nice. Great line to them. They're actually huge. This one here is massive. Look at that. Look at that shadow it's casting. And this one looks like a massive crater as well. I don't think I've come in this close on the moon ever before, so bit of an experiment to see if I actually manage to capture all of it, or just bits of it tonight. For example, that was probably a bit too far. Let's do that. can really get deep into these craters, actually. Look at that. These are massive. Okay, let's go across them. We get totally lost tonight as I try and work my way across the moon and see if we can get all of it in segments. But I feel I might get totally lost because we're so close and zoomed in. So if I take that as my next marker and put that over there, it should be in quite a good position. So we'll just use that tonight, see what happens. Yeah, me too, Diana. It certainly does, doesn't it? The shadows on the craters is incredible tonight, and that's with the full moon as well. But you can see the size of these ones up here. This really blows me away, the size of this one. Yes, I'll stitch all the images together, hopefully. I mean, I've zoomed right in tonight, so we've got the ×2 Barlow lens in there tonight, and we're going to see if we can get some, well, a whole mosaic of the moon if we can. I mean, it's quite a tough one tonight because obviously I've never zoomed in this far, but we'll see what happens. So if I now use that as my marker, maybe take that shot. Yeah, it's a big ask tonight. But it's the first night I've had in 3 months where we've been able to get out there and actually do anything, to be honest. It's been raining every single goddamn day. Or cloud cover, or I've been working. On the one clear night we've had, I've always been out working. So hopefully tonight, it's a little bit misty out there, but not too bad. We'll see how we get on. Good to be back in action, to be honest. It's been so long. I almost thought I'd been forgotten. But glad to see you're back too. Thanks for sticking by me. Yeah, the weather has been terrible in England. It's not the best place to do this hobby from, it has to be said. God, it's just full of bullet holes, isn't it? Everywhere. Yeah, but only like riding a bike when it's a nice fine day. Can't ride a bike when it's raining doing this, unfortunately. But getting back into it, did you see? You saw my Jupiter, I take it. That was that transit I did of Io going across the surface of it was good timing on my part because I just literally started filming it and saw it and got the whole transit. What time is it where you are at the moment then, Diana? I wonder if that's just missed. Or if it's me. Oh, okay, 1 a.m. So you're 2 hours ahead of me. So you must be in Europe then. Nice. Well, hopefully I can help. Romania, nice. Been to Romania a couple of times, love it. You've got a festival called the Electric Castle. And I've been with bands at that festival quite a few times there. But why is that focus so bad? That's better. We've got some lovely vineyards in Romania as well. We visited a lovely vineyard when we were over there. One that sold Dracula's blood. Yeah, to be honest, that festival was one of my most favourite festivals I think I've ever played at, or we've I did sound at, to be fair. Been there several years on the trot. Yeah, it is quite incredible, isn't it? And it'll be even better when I've processed it. I'm going to put the focus controller down for a second and see if we can just. The webcam's obviously at a slightly funny angle tonight. Which is why I have to go a little bit zigzaggy. I love the shock waves that come off of these ones as well. I'm kind of taking I'm taking 1 minute videos, which I will then out of those 1 minute footage bits, I will then stack those images together, and that will give me one image. And then from that one image, I will then take however many shots I've taken of the moon in series and try and stitch them together. So at the moment I've got a webcam on it, specifically designed for taking pictures of the planets or the moon. And yeah, so it's 1 minute footage. That will give me that's taking about 1800 frames per minute. And then I will basically put those into another program, which will then stack them all on top of each other. Take out all the bad frames first. I don't know how it does it, but it does. It gets rid of all the bad frames, gives me only the good frames, so the ones that haven't got that mist on it, and then stitch them together. So it's quite a long process. I will try to do that live actually one day, I think, because that would be quite a nice little video to do. Yeah, I mean, taking one single shot does, but the only trouble with taking one single shot is that then you see the beauty of this is I can stack up, like I said, 1800 frames. Well, I won't stack that many. I'll probably stack about half of those. So maybe about, yeah, that's what I need to do for those rainy days. That's exactly what I need to do, and that will give me more time live and show you guys exactly what's going on here. And now we're going to get to the interesting part of the moon, I think. lost already. Back on track, I think. Yeah, the background work, actually I really enjoy doing the background work because suddenly your shots, I mean this at the moment is quite blurry, but as I say it gets rid of all the bad shots. And oh, did I just hit the wrong button? Yes I did. Never mind. That's going to take 1,000 frames for me. Yeah, that took 1,000 frames right there. It takes a lot of frames. But the image that comes out of this, when you stack them all together, is super sharp and quite incredible, to be honest, compared to what we're seeing now. It's incredible the kind of programs you got. Something called Auto Stacker, where it takes out all the bad frames for you. It does all that itself. It works out which are the bad frames and which ones don't. Yeah, it needs a fair amount of processing, like a gaming. It is a gaming PC. My son basically spec'd it for me, and also to go live as well. It takes a lot of processing power just going live. So the programs themselves really eat into your memory when you're using them, and then after you've gone into one program, you then go into another program to you've got about two different stacking programs. One stacks it, and then one gives you a bit more detail. And then after you've done that, you go into Photoshop afterwards and doctor it even more. Let's see if I can come across the screen a bit this way. That's my favourite mountain range, this. I love it. Apenninus, apparently. And I did have a distance of that once, but I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. But that is a mountain range right there, so we're seeing the peaks of all the mountains in that range. And right here, this is the Sea of Tranquility, where the lunar landings were, or were one of them was anyway. Way back in 1969, when I was 1 year old. And apparently my mum got me up to watch it. Not that I remember, but she says she did. Got me up to watch the moon landing, sorry. So the processing I did of Jupiter, yeah, it took all day. I had 130 different 1 minute bits of footage, and the computer stacked all of those 130 different shots at the same time. It took all day for the computer to actually sort through it and do it, but it did it all for me. Yeah, this mountain range right here is oh sorry, do you know where you are on the moon off the top of your head, or a software? Well, I'm kind of just, I don't really know the moon that well, and there's so much to think about it. This is the only mountain range I know the name of, the Apenninus range. And you've got craters like Titan and stuff like that, but I don't actually know where they are. I've got this book here, but it's too small for me to read with these glasses on. And that shows me everywhere on the moon, but I can't actually read that in this light. And it's all in French as well, so it doesn't actually help. But I'll learn it as we go on, or as I go on, sorry. Let's do a capture of that. I don't know if I did or not. Yeah, it's really confusing. I mean, all the maps I've got of it don't actually give me any information whatsoever, because there's so much information on there. To remember it all would be impossible. I've tried to even look online as I'm doing it, but it's just really hard to map anything else out apart from knowing that that's the Sea of Tranquility, and that is the Apenninus range. Oh, you've got a little Celestron. Oh, wicked. How big is it? Celestron's a really good make. I've got a Skywatcher 200, which is an 8-inch scope, or 200mm anyway, either or. There's no way I'm going to be able to stitch this together. I don't even know where I am. But we'll see if we get some interesting single shots out of it. Do they use it a lot? Did you get much clear skies in Romania? Sometimes there is a program I've got that actually does stitch them together, provided I've done them left to right or up or down. And if I set the computer to tell me that, then I think it's a part of, I can't remember the name of the program now. But yeah, I can effectively, if I put it into that particular program, then it does tend to mainly works. I mean, I tried it on the sun the other day and it didn't work at all because obviously there's not enough image for it to go onto. But it was all the same colour. There's a lot more on the moon, so it's easier for it to detect on the moon. But generally, if I work from the top and across and then come down and across and down and across and down and across, it should actually stitch them all in that order. I say should, but the last one I had to do the moon, I had to do all manually. So you basically grab your image, go about 50% opacity on it, and then just line them up, which is a lot easier than you think, to be honest, because you can just nudge it left or right a little bit, and it should lock in. Well, it does lock in, provided you got it right. We're getting to the interesting part of the moon now, the bottom bit. I like the bottom bit. It's a massive crater. I don't know the name of it, but it should come into view soon. So now I've gone across, I'll now go down a bit. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things that it does take a long time, but it's actually quite mesmerizing doing it. And I kind of enjoy that, really. I just enjoy kind of getting lost in kind of lining things up and locking them all in. I used to have to do that with animation, where you'd have to do each frame singly, and that took all day just to get like about a 30-second shot, because you have to go through every single frame individually, line it up, draw on it what you were, and carry on from there. But it's more kind of it's just enjoyable, kind of just seeing the results as they come out, as opposed to being tedious. I don't think there's anything really tedious about it. It's just you need lots and lots of time. So as long as you've got a day, so tomorrow, for example, I'll probably sit there all day and just start editing all these together, and then realise that I've missed half the moon in the middle, because that's what I usually do. Especially when I've never done it this close before either. So normally you'd see a lot more of the moon in each shot, but I think I'm only getting about, well, less than an eighth of the moon. I think I'm getting about a 16th of the moon at the moment in shot. But the processing days are actually better than these days. These days of actually taking the photographs. Like when I take the photographs of the nebula that you see up in the top corner, that one there, that doesn't look that impressive when you're doing it overnight. It only looks only looks impressive when you put all the shots together. But I don't know if you can see that because I don't think my cursor was on, was it? There's my cursor there. Ah, there it is. Right, so that shot there that I took of Orion Nebula. Yeah, that is my favourite too. But sadly this year I couldn't go near it because it was cloudy every goddamn night. It's kind of there, but I only get about an hour a night of it now, and I really need to photograph it for about 2 hours to get enough data to actually stitch together. Oh, I was going to go across, all right. Oh, that's pretty cool. Having a tattoo of the Orion Nebula, the constellation. Got Betelgeuse in there as well, then I take it. Betelgeuse is my favourite star, mainly because it's about to explode. Or it has exploded. We don't know. They think it's exploded. And if you put it where our sun is, its circumference would stretch out as far as Jupiter. It would basically swallow Jupiter up. That's how big it is. And that blows me away. Because that is, well, that's a couple of million miles, that, isn't it? I mean, Saturn is 2 million miles, I think, from us. What, of the moon? Or of, oh no, of the of Betelgeuse. So the light will reach at 750 years. Because it's 750 light years away from us. Yeah, Jupiter and Saturn are far away. I mean, I believe that Saturn is about 2 million miles away. Bets on when we will see it explode. Well, like they said it's already exploded. I mean, that means it would have exploded any time in the last 750 years. But that's the thing, isn't it? It's whether it exploded 750 years ago, or if it and I mean, to be honest, what we're seeing of it at the moment, it's oh, here we go. I like this crater, but I actually can't go onto it just yet. I'm way off track now. Way off track. Yeah, I took a picture of a galaxy the other day that was 132 million light years away, which means that 132 million years ago, a photon of light left that galaxy, travelled at the speed of light for 150 million years, 132 million years, and then smashed into the lens of my camera 150, 132 million years later. And that's mind-blowing to me, that I took a photograph that was 132 million years old. Or the fact that I could actually see a galaxy that far away, to be honest. I mean, space does blow me away. It's a big place. Oh, who's my favourite crater? And again, I couldn't tell you the name of it. But look at the shock waves that come off of that. That must have been some impact. Well, funnily enough, it was Saturn when I was a kid. And I used to look in telescopes. I used to look in shots, in shop windows, and just see these telescopes, and nothing that I could afford back then. And it kind of just blew me away that this planet was out there that had rings on it, and just everything about Saturn was just incredible. And what got me into, I mean, I love nebula; they're my favourite. Now I'm absolutely blown away by nebulas, especially that one there, the Orion Nebula. That's typically one of my favourite. But yeah, nebulas are my favourite things out there to photograph. But getting into it was Saturn, and then somebody posted a picture of Saturn on Facebook when about 13 years ago now, and so I got in contact with him. He was a kind of a friend of a friend, and I got in contact with him and I said, how did you take that photograph? Did you take that photograph, and how did you do it, and what equipment did you use? And he gave me a list of all the equipment he had. So I literally went out then and bought everything he had on that list. And just because Saturn was just mind-blowing as far as I was concerned. And then when I got the scope, the first thing I did was I found Saturn, lined everything up with Saturn, and I was here with the kid's grandfather, so my wife's dad, and my son. And my son was 7 at the time, and granddad was 76. And we stood outside, looked through the viewfinder, and saw just the most incredible. It was like it was painted on the end of my telescope. It was just this beautiful yellow ringed object. I don't mean, if you think about it, back in the day when they first saw Saturn, imagine what they thought when they looked through a telescope and saw that for the first time. It looked like some kind of alien spaceship. I mean, I don't know what they were thinking at the time. But yeah, Saturn was what got me into it. And looking through it was just the most magical thing I think I've ever seen in my life. And from that day, I was hooked. Jupiter was the next thing I saw and loved, and that was that was beautiful too. But nothing compares to Saturn when you look at it through the viewfinder. I've yet to take the perfect shot of Saturn. I took a really good one of Jupiter the other day, but Saturn for me was really hard to get. It is still really hard to get, but now I can do it with this times 2 Barlow lens. I can get in close enough to it. The last one I took of Saturn was a little bit blurry, but I'll get there. But just seeing it live was amazing. And I remember Grandad looking at it and saying to Zach, my son, he said, "You know what? It's taken me 76 years to see Saturn through a telescope," he said, "and you've seen it when you were 9 or 7. I can't remember how old he was now, whether he was 9 or 7, he was one of the two." Yeah, it's the most beautiful planet I think I've ever seen, or that I will ever see. It does, it blows me away too. But as you say, really, really hard to pinpoint through the viewfinder. But when you get it, wow. Yeah, it was. Did you see it? Yeah, you will come away with back pain. I know. It depends on how high. I've got the telescope set up really for the cameras at the moment, so it's really hard for me to actually look through the finder scope and see. It depends on which way things are at the moment. I've got it set up at the moment so that it's kind of in one direction, but every time the scope moves around to a different part of the sky, sometimes the viewfinder and the finder scope ends up around the back end of the telescope, and you've got to kind of look at it from a really weird angle. Yeah, you're right. Saturn by itself, when you look at it through with your own eyes, it is just glorious, isn't it? Oh, my tea's gone cold. It's so cold here. I wonder if I'd photographed that bit already. Probably have. Maybe we'll move it down a bit. Perhaps a bit more. You know what? I really don't know where I am tonight. Just shooting blind. Yeah, I think the whole universe is quite incredible, to be honest. The chaos up there, which is just, well, it's kind of chaos, but it's order as well, isn't it, at the same time? Yes, it is. It's brilliant. But it's great. Thank you for joining in and being here and chatting. It's really nice actually to have a bit of company while I'm doing this. I used to just spend hours just sitting there all by myself, and then one day my son basically put some, I don't know if it was on Reddit or something like that. He just put on the what I was doing, and got quite a few subscribers come through there and then. I mean, I don't get a lot of people looking at it now, so it's really nice when somebody actually is interested and has a look as well. Because that's the reason I put it online, is so that everyone can see exactly what's going on. Oh, just did the start capture again, which is the wrong thing to do. But yeah, it is really nice to have some company while I'm doing this. Otherwise, I just sit here in silence and won't say a word. So thank you very much for being here and joining me. Oh, was it? You got here through the Reddit? Nice one. That's pretty cool. I've never even looked at Reddit. Yeah, he was a big YouTuber when he was 14. Had a little bit of success with the channel, and he's now at university doing a marketing degree. And using all his skills he learned while putting videos together and putting them out on YouTube. And I've got a massive 5 viewers at the moment, so that's pretty cool. I don't think I've had that many in a long time. So welcome everybody else that's joined us, even if it's only for a second. God, it's a big rock, this, isn't it? Nice one, Dominic. And CSAS as well. Hi, nice one. Welcome. Thanks for joining. So as I said, we're coming really close to the moon today. I'm totally lost. Yeah, I mean, it was, you know what, this wasn't as expensive as all of that, to be fair. I mean, probably not as expensive as some of your cameras. The actual telescope itself, I think, cost me about 750 quid. That was with the tripod and the computer that comes with it, which is called a SynScan. I'll try and show you on the webcam if I can. Where is it? I don't know if I can actually reach that part of it. Let's try and move the webcam on. So let's see. This here is my hand controller. Hang on a minute. No. I'm trying to do that online, so that's not working very well. Let's try and turn it around so it's there. That. Still can't get it in line. There it is. That's my hand controller. And I've got a very long cable running out to the shed. Well, let's say the shed, the observatory, I think we call it. For capturing, I use at the moment I'm using a program called SharpCap to do the planets and the moon, and then I put all of those into a program called AutoStack, and then quite incredibly, because at the moment I'm taking 1 minute of footage using the webcam of each section of the moon that I'm doing at the moment. So we will take, for example, we'll start there, we'll take 1 minute's worth of footage of that, and then I'll put I'll put this particular bit of footage into a program called AutoStacker, and that will sort out all the good frames from the bad frames, which is going to be about 1800 frames. It will sort out all the good ones from the bad ones for me, and then it will stack all the good ones that it finds, or about 30% of all the good ones, and basically stack them all on top of each other. And then I put it into another program after that, which is called Registax, and I use that program for adjusting the wavelets on it, so you kind of bring out the detail a little bit more. You can bring out lots of detail or small amounts of detail all the way through that. And then after that, I then put it in the program, well, into Photoshop after that. Am I capable of seeing the... Where's that? Exactly. The Odysseus. Is that part of the moon? Or is that a constellation or something? Still not 100%. Oh no, I don't think we're getting that close, unfortunately. It'd be really nice to, but no, I'm not. This is as close as I can get, which is I've got a 2 times Barlow lens attached to it at the moment. Do we know where it landed? If we look very carefully, we might see it take off though. That's quite a nice edge. I'll never be able to find it with the coordinates, to be fair. It's near Malaparte A crater, less than 300 kilometers from the South Pole. Okay, so what did you say that was? That Malaparte? As I say, my book's too damn small to read that. That's it there. Okay, well, we're in the right region then. So we're at the South Pole at the moment. And again, there's my favourite crater. I love that crater. I just love the shock waves that come off of it. It's just immense, that, isn't it? Look at that. All of these lines that come off of it. That was one hell of an impact. Malaparte A. I wonder where that is on my list. Let's have a look. See if I can see. Yeah, I mean, that must have been one hell of an impact. The mess it's made. And they spread out a long way across the moon, they do. I mean, look at that. Look. That line there. And that line there. I'm totally lost now, to be honest. On where I'm taking photos of, so I'm just snapping blind. Yeah, I think it probably is, isn't it? It's where it's scattered out. Either that or it was the actual shock waves from the impact, and it kind of just rippled out as it hit. Right, give me 2 seconds. I've got to use the bathroom because this is a really cold night here. So in a second, I shall return. Well, it's so cold out there, even the husky is in. I don't know if you can see him behind the 3D printer. See if I move that out of the way. See him chilling on the sofa. There he is, the old Malamute, right there by my side. He's choosing for a day inside on a full moon night when he should be outside enjoying it. But not tonight, he's not. He prefers to be in the warm with me. First time ever. I know, tell me about it. He is, isn't he? He's a bit of a cutie. I reckon at a guess then it probably landed around about here. Oh, what was my first target? My first target when I first got it was actually Beetlejuice, and then no, Saturn. Saturn was the reason I got into this in the first place. Oh, sorry, you were asking Dominic. M83. That is a hell of a galaxy, that one. I like that one too. There's some great galaxies out there. The best one for me was when I first turned the camera on Andromeda, and after taking shots of smaller galaxies, suddenly I turned the camera onto that, and it was so big it filled the whole of the frame of the camera, and it kind of blew me away. It was so scary that I actually stopped that night. Me and my other husky basically came in. It spooked us so much that this massive galaxy was over my head and was filling the frame of my camera, and it was right there above me. That it spooked me. That was the first time I ever saw it. Oh, I like that. That's nice. That's very nice. Let me see if I can put a picture of M83 in a minute. 83. There's a band called M83. That's the 83. Oh wow, that is a galaxy and a half, that, isn't it? Southern Pinwheel Galaxy. Yeah, I've taken a shot at that one before. That's a stunner. Pinwheel Galaxy. Yeah, I'd like to. My sister lives in the mountains of Italy, and I say soon, but when she gets a piece of land, I'm hopefully going to go over there and set up a big telescope on her land in the mountains, and then remote operate it from here, which would be really nice. That would be my ultimate. Or just go out there and use it when I'm out there. But yeah. Well, you want to go outside, mate? Go on, then. Husky's gone out to enjoy the cold. Yeah, they run a little operation called EcoWise Italy, where they take school kids on kind of nature walks through the mountains, and you can actually find them on YouTube. If you have a look on YouTube, you'll find EcoWise Italy, and type that in, and you can see what they do, which is amazing. They do. I actually did all the videos on that site for them, edited all. My sister filmed it, and then they sent all the footage over to me over here, and I edited it and put it together for them. Oh wow, that would be amazing to watch the Milky Way and see it from the Colorado. That's one of my favourite places. I've got a picture when I was 13 years old, sitting on this rock overlooking the Grand Canyon with my sister, and we're way, way, way up high, but just sitting over the Colorado River, and it was, well, it's quite immense. It's a hell of a place. That we went on something called the Ottinger Tours. It was, and this guy apparently had found a dinosaur, or his daughter had found a dinosaur, which they named after her. They were going to call it Ottingersaurus, but unfortunately that sounded too much like "Aren't you a Saurus?" So they had to change it. But yeah, I'd love to get a long shot of the Milky Way. I mean, I'm going to try and get one of those over Aylesbury. I don't think it will be the same as seeing it over the Colorado Rockies, to be honest. But that would be where I'd like to go. Definitely going to like to see the Colorado Rockies again. Yeah, me too. A bit of both. That'd be fantastic. I'm in heaven if I saw both of those. Had the opportunity to. So, Dominic, are you close to the Colorado Rockies then? Oh, my daughter's in Tampa at the moment. She is a British Airways. No, she's not. She's a Virgin Atlantic air stewardess. And yeah, she's in Tampa today. In fact, she's probably flying back right now. So, where did you meet? In Colorado, or did you meet in Florida? Oh, nice. And he came to visit you, or you went to visit him first? Yeah, that would be really nice actually to see it in Northumberland in the parks up there. That would be really cool. I came to you and then stayed with you. That was it. Love at first sight. That's a cute story. Oh, that's lovely. 10 years. Well, I met my wife at a rave 25, no, was it 25, 26, about 27 years ago. Oh, what dogs you got? Yeah, I've been up there quite a lot. I've been all over the British Isles, really. It's not that big, to be honest. Yeah, it was a rave that my cousin used to put on. It was kind of in a stately home, so we started going to that. That's where we met. She was friends of theirs, and yeah, we've been together ever since. I like that crater. That's nice. Oh, little ones. Chihuahua Poodle mix. Oh, nice. A little bit smaller than my Huskies then. Yeah, that one is great, isn't it? I should imagine that if they, well, no, I don't think that's right at all. I'm totally lost to exactly how much of the moon I've actually taken any photographs of, to be honest. Let's just go randomly. We'll go back to my favourite mountain range, which is somewhere up here. There it is. The Apenninus mountain range. That one right there. And as I say, I can't give you any information on it whatsoever because I can't remember what the information is, and the book's too small for me to read. No, this is a Skywatcher 200 reflector. It's probably the expensive of the amateur range, or it was well the cost effective amateur range semi-professional kind of scope. It's an 8-inch scope or 200 millimeter, and I kind of want to go 10 or want to go 12-inch. To be honest, that would be ultimate for me because I get this is pretty good imagery you get with this one, but oh right, so is that 100 millimeter? Oh, nice information. So hang on a minute. Formation dating back to 3.9 billion years. Blimey. Total length of the range is about 600 kilometres, with some of the peaks rising up as high as 5 kilometres. That's quite incredible. It certainly is my favourite part of the moon. Yeah, to be honest, I think that I mean, I've got a mine's a 200mm, 8-inch Dobsonian, and it's anything smaller, and I think things start to look a little bit kind of too small through the viewfinder. I mean, this is the smallest I'd like to go. Just because I mean, when you look through the actual scope itself, and you don't really see anything at all, you see you see well, it's kind of just blurry, kind of little. You see nothing, to be honest. When I look through the viewfinder of this telescope, you just see a little blur where there's a galaxy. Well, I'd like to see a little bit more of that. Yeah, Petnam for me too. Oh yeah, that would be a nice scope. But obviously, I mean, that's the trouble. When I first got into this, I got the scope first under the instruction of a friend of mine that had taken the picture of Saturn using it. But it was all the extras that he'd added on to get that shot, like times two Barlow lens, a Canon 600D. Um, I had to build my own webcam. Back then, I had a webcam that I built. Well, I didn't build. I adapted. It was a £20 webcam from Logitech that apparently had the same sensor in it as the Hubble Space Telescope, and obviously only a tiny piece of it. It was about so big, but we adapted those ones and just basically shoved them down the neck of the cat of the telescope, and it came out okay. I mean, the shots on it weren't too bad, to be honest. The ones I got at the moon were quite good for that kind. And now I've gone up to this camera I'm using at the moment is and hang on a minute, I'll tell you what it is. It's a ZWO AS1224 MC, and it's a planetary camera, but it's stunning. It's really good. The shots I did of Jupiter about 3 months ago were incredible through it, especially now I've started using the Barlow lens. Oops, that was the wrong way. Love that edge. Yeah, the next one I want to get would be the one that does the deep space. which is I think the ZWO65 something or other. Slightly out of my price range at the moment. I really need to save up for that. But at the moment, I use the I use my Canon at the moment for that one there. Where is it? I'll catch you soon, Diana. Nice one. Thanks for sticking with me tonight. So I've got my 600. It's not even in the shot. Everything's backwards to me today. So I use that at the moment for all my deep space stuff with a filter attached to that. That's pretty good. I enjoy using that. Yeah, good night, Diana. Take care. Nice one, Dominic. Thanks for sticking around and joining me tonight. I think I'm going to pack up soon myself, to be honest, because it's now 12:30 here and getting pretty cold. And I think I've got most of it. Nice one, CSAS. Bye. My husky's looking at me as well, telling me I've got to go. And your boy. You come in here again? Okay. You want to come in what, the other side? Okay, fair enough. Right. I think that's pretty much me done for the night as well. So thanks everybody for tuning in and watching. That was a really good session. Nice one. Thanks for all the company. And that's been roughly 2 hours. So I'm going to say good night.